By the 17th century, the Mughal Empire had consumed almost the entire Indian subcontinent. Their wealth was practically limitless, and their military expansion rolled southward toward the Deccan Plateau like an unstoppable tide. For the smaller, fractured kingdoms standing in their way, the mathematics of survival were bleak. Isolated pockets of resistance were easily surrounded and swallowed by a war machine that could field hundreds of thousands of well-funded troops. The 1665 siege of Purandar perfectly illustrates this brutal arithmetic. Mughal commander Daler Khan dragged his massive artillery and thousands of soldiers to the walls of this isolated Maratha outpost, completely cornering the tiny garrison trapped inside. Maratha commander Morar Baji led a desperate final charge. With only 60 men behind him, he stormed the enemy lines, cutting down 500 Pathan soldiers before a Mughal arrow finally ended his stand. Raw courage met inevitable slaughter. Purandar made it clear the Marathas could not survive a war of attrition. To stay alive, they had to stop acting like a traditional army and start acting like a ghost. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj understood this. He looked at the massive armies arrayed against him and realized that to defeat a giant, you have to fight from the shadows. He bypassed troop counts entirely and prioritized human intelligence. Information, rather than artillery, became his primary weapon. Working with his head spy, Bahirji Naik, Shivaji spent years quietly weaving an invisible, kingdom-wide surveillance apparatus. They mapped terrain, observed troop movements, and assessed enemy weaknesses long before engaging in major conflicts. While the Mughals fought a conventional war for physical territory, Shivaji engineered a war of information. His doctrine was simple: never fight a battle you haven't already won on paper. To gather this intelligence, Shivaji's spies embedded themselves into every layer of enemy society. They moved unnoticed as wandering holy men, beggars, artisans, and astrologers. They relayed critical intelligence back to commanders through covert communication protocols, using specific bird whistles in the forests and complex coded scripts that bypassed enemy borders entirely. Shivaji embedded his intelligence apparatus directly into his command structure. He intermixed his personal cavalry, the Paga, with informants to maintain discipline and catch treachery before it could spread. Absolute situational awareness acted as a massive force multiplier. A tiny Maratha guerrilla unit could anticipate a Mughal patrol, set an ambush, strike, and vanish back into the mountains before the enemy could even draw their swords. The ultimate test of this network came in 1666. Shivaji traveled to the Mughal capital of Agra, where he was insulted in Aurangzeb's court and placed under strict house arrest, trapped deep behind towering red sandstone walls. Getting out required an audacious deception. Utilizing advanced intelligence gathered by Bahirji scouts, Shivaji and his son hid inside large woven sweetmeat baskets. Porters carried them directly out of the heavily guarded compound, right under the noses of a 1,000-man security detail. Escaping the city was only the first step. Bahirji's network of prearranged safe houses and expert escorts then seamlessly guided Shivaji across a perilous 700-mile journey back to the safety of the Deccan. This exact same reliance on scout intelligence saved the Maratha army years later. During the 1679 Jalna campaign, Bahirji's guides led Shivaji's forces through completely uncharted mountain passes for 72 straight hours, allowing them to slip cleanly away from two converging Mughal armies. Shivaji's genius lay in his ability to control the physical and psychological boundaries of the battlefield. He didn't need to overpower his captors if he could outsmart them. However, mastering the mountains wasn't enough. True sovereignty meant securing the coastline and protecting valuable trade routes from foreign empires. This brought the Marathas face to face with the Siddis of Janjira. These Abyssinian rulers commanded a formidable naval fleet and controlled a massive sea fort that rose directly out of the ocean, posing a persistent threat to Maratha shores. Year after year, the Marathas launched sieges against Janjira, and year after year, they failed. The city's naval superiority, eventually backed by Mughal funding, proved to be an unconquerable obstacle for a mountain-based army. Instead of grinding his forces down in stubborn attrition, Shivaji adapted. He pivoted his strategy and invested heavily in building his own blue water navy, applying his asymmetric principles to an entirely new domain. In 1674, Shivaji transitioned from a guerrilla leader to a formalized sovereign. He was crowned at Raigad Fort, establishing Hindavi Swarajya, or self-rule. anchoring his invisible empire in stone. With this crown came a rigorous code of conduct. He enforced strict religious tolerance, protected women captured in war, and laid down severe punishments for corruption or the looting of civilians. This disciplined administration stood in sharp contrast to the excess and chaos often found in the ranks of the Mughal and European powers he fought. He built a secular system that earned the loyalty of the people it governed. Maratha reliance on human intelligence and extreme mobility over raw firepower created a blueprint for insurgency. His doctrine of never launching an operation without a prior reconnaissance remains a central principle of modern special operations. Shivaji didn't just carve out a kingdom, he built a system of governance and defense that outlasted the very empire that tried to erase it.